Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite warlock, practicing necromancer. And today I want to come to you with fraud games. Okay? For those of you who keep up on current events, okay, we all know that celebrities have been linked to fraudulent activity, murders, you name it, right? On top of that, you got government officials and former candidates that have been in office, from governors, senators, Republicans, all the way up to the current president being targeted for fraud, whatever. We also realize that there's a lot of scammers out there claiming to be a part of the Illuminati. Yeah. Fun, right? In the last few months, I have gotten, I don't know how many of these morons that come to me trying to invite me into the great Illuminati organization. The most recent one, the Rothschild. Yes, that's right. That family lineage, right? Now, down in the description box, you will find the exact message that was sent to me. Underneath my account here on YouTube, you will see not only my little paragraph that I wrote, but also the entire thing with the account associated with it that I had taken a photo of before getting off TikTok and everything. Now, this individual contacted me about 48 hours ago. Okay? 48 hours. Okay? Claiming to be a part of the New World Order, to be a banker, to be a part of the Rothschild family lineage. Now, how do I know this is a false statement? First of all, when they contact you after news clips have come out claiming that individuals of the government have possible ties to the Rothschild, family of, it's kind of ironic. That's number one. Number two, if you claim to be a part of something, why would you repeatedly bring it up? Why would you continue to bring up and trying to force that one perspective down somebody's throat? Think about that for just a moment. And you can read for yourself in the description box. Okay? Where would these morons come from if they didn't have the desire to sow chaos and anarchy? Now, here's the funny thing. You all know me. I don't just apply myself to the arts. Okay, whatever tradition I am studying and practicing, I go all in. I don't do things half-assed. I don't look at it as a sometime thing or a part-time thing. I go all in. That means I do my research. I do my homework from history, anthropology, archaeological perspectives, the whole kit and caboodle. So anybody who's ever studied the Illuminati know that the original Illuminati was around the 15th century with a small fractional offshoots that tried to make it a go between the late 15th and 16th century. Wow. Okay. And then suddenly, over the last 20 years, the Illuminati has been popping up all over the fucking place. I want you to think about that. What's the significance of it? What's the point of it? They're showing all this money that they have, that they supposedly made, but yet, as I've talked about in past videos, I've had apprentices that have come to me, said, "Hey, I just got invited into the Great Illuminati. You know, is this real or not?" And I always tell them it's not real, and I lay it out for them. This is what they're going to do. This is how you're going to reply, and you watch how they do things. So they always ask for your personal information. Okay? Always. Your name, date of birth, bank account, you name it. It's there. My advice is don't fucking get involved with them, because if they're a part of the Illuminati, the real Illuminati, if they actually still exist, why would they need to ask you for this information? Shouldn't they already know? Think about it. So I had my apprentice go in and said, "Hey, my elder, my teacher wants to come in. Is that okay with you?" And they're like, "Yeah." So we took out the paperwork. We printed it off. We did the blood oath. The whole can caboodle, and did the video, sent it to them, and they're like, "Welcome to the Great Illuminati. Can you send us $1,500?" No. Because if you're already rich, why would you need our money? Think about it. So, to keep the story short, he realized that everything I had told him turned out to be truth. They were nothing more than a scammer. Okay? So, like I said, here we are about 6 years down the line, and more of these scam artists are popping up all over social media. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Even Timber, Instagram, everywhere. Okay? And they seem to be coming out, if you follow the events of the world, you're going to notice that a news clip has come out from the media tying such and such a individual to a rich and famous person that had ties to the government, perhaps even the banking system. Oh, look, possible ties to the Skull and Bones organization, a secret organization that numerous presidents supposedly have come from. Wasn't this part of the Masonic Lodge at one point? Wasn't it a part of Masonry? Wow. Just saying, right? Now, anybody who knows the history knows this stuff, right? So, I didn't reply to this guy that claims to be a part of the Rothschild family of bankers. Okay? I didn't even reply to in words. No. I shared a video. Well, I wouldn't call it a video, it's more of a photo with 3 books and a music video that was playing in the background. No, technically the music video comes from the TikTok channel. You have a music option, but you know what I mean. Still, it's in the background. So the only way I replied was just like that. And like I said, it's been 48 to 72 hours. Not one reply, but yet you know for a fact that they've seen it because it shows. Wow. Right? So let me show you what I showed him. Okay? Saw a girl on TikTok that was reading this book, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So I got it and I read it. I've had this book for a few years now. It was kind of interesting, kind of everything about love, light, and God, kind of hermetic type stuff with some rituals in the background. So, obviously, you know, I got those, right? Now, one of my favorite authors is Jim Marrs. He wrote a book that dealt with the rise of the Fourth Reich. Now, those of you who understand the term Reich will go straight to Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich of neo-Nazism. However, what happened to the First and Second Reich before the Third Reich, right? Well, he actually answered that question from a historical and anthropological, apology perspective. So when I found out that he had wrote a book on the Illuminati and the history of it, I had to go out and get it. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Like I said, I love his work. He's very, very informational. He's thorough and everything. And he does a lot in this book. So, let me see here. You have the origins to Zionism, Freemasons, the church, methodology, Germany, suppression, revolution, modern Illuminati, pop culture, and conclusions. Ironic, right? Gives a lot of different sources, at least 2 pages of sources between IX and X. Goes into the introductions and a lot of other stuff that I find very, very informational, that is backed up through those of you who have actually studied Freemasonry work, those who have studied history, archaeology, anthropology, folklore, traditions, and everything, but more so the Kabbalah system. Okay? He really goes great into depth in that aspect. So, like I said, I thought it would be amusing that instead of doing the same old song and dance with these hypocrites, these morons, I thought I'd just simply surprise them with 3 books and a song. So I did. And like I said, not one fucking reply since. So, when you hear the term fraud games, I want you to think about it like a shell game. And that's all it is a shell game. It's more than one person playing tricks on you. Think of it as psych warfare. Dark psychology, even. Okay, and that's basically what it is. They're playing a long con. And all that is to get your hopes up to think, oh, once I join, I'm going to get rich and famous. No, you're not going to get rich and famous, because they're going to ask you to send money. I've had people claiming to be Freemasons that's all they wanted. They wanted you to send money. Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? At least that's the way they claim it is. But yet you get all these individuals from third world countries showing nothing but bills across their beds on, taking photos at the marina with boats. Wow, maybe even down in the financial section of New York, maybe Miami. How about Hollywood? Ironic how that works, right? But do people stop and think, is this a scam? No, they don't. They just jump in and then wonder, how did this happen? First of all, look at the spelling. Get into a conversation with these people. Look at their repeated phrases, and that will tell you everything you need to know. I've had these people that claim to want, for an example, being a single man, and I know a lot of other single guys too. They're tired of these dating sites because all you end up with is these online escorts, prostitutes, and scam artists. They just want your money and they never show up to, anyways, right? So I get into a conversation with one of these, a few of these individuals. Let's say I've talked to 20 people claiming to be women that are single that want a relationship. Okay? Long term relationship is what they claim. Family, marriage, everything. Now, a way to tell if this is a scammer is their spelling starts off appropriate. Okay? It comes out normal, the way a normal person would be writing. Okay? Correct spelling, punctuations, the works. And then as soon as they think that they got a fish on that line, all of a sudden it's baby, hun, dear, some kind of pet name. And then all of a sudden the excuses start. And then all of a sudden their spelling goes downward. And I'm talking atrocious. Like somebody took a meat cleaver to their tongue. Type atrocious. Now, what do we learn from this particular instance? First of all, they come at you with a pet name, excuses, and bad spelling. But here's the thing that goes along with those three key ingredients there. They're too eager to go along with everything. You could sit there and make up a story. You can make it as foul or as, say, for an example, let's go with BDSM for an example, and you can just keep adding to it and adding to it, and they're just going to agree because they're hoping to get your money. Welcome to cyber crimes, because that's all that is. Cyber crimes. You see, prostitutes, these scam artists, they're no longer on the street. They're behind a computer screen. So if you get underneath TikTok or you get into a Facebook group, for an example, and you see anonymous poster or whatever it's called, it's like anonymous commenter or whatever, poster, I guess you'll call it. That's most likely a scam artist because they're people that don't want to reveal who they really are. You can say that you're from Dallas, Texas. You can say you're from Dubai. You can say you're from Tokyo, Japan. Does that make it so? No, it doesn't. You can claim that you made millions and millions of dollars by joining the Illuminati. Doesn't make it so. I guarantee it, if you flipped up those bills or had them flip up those bills, 90% of them are nothing but blank paper. 90%, if not more. You would be better off putting all your pennies in a bottle, one of those water jugs for 40 years, and you'd be a millionaire. You'd be better off getting some financial IQ and investing your money, I'd say about 3% of your paychecks, into your stocks, into your day trading. Use some of those stocks, not all of it, but just set some stocks aside and go, I'm going to play with this and try to see what I can do. Learn the ups and downs, learn how to do day trading. Find out, financially what is beneficial. This shit, it's not worth the toilet paper that you use in the bathroom. I'm just saying. Okay? So before you get all excited because somebody offers you an opportunity, Think. Think about what they're offering you. Look at their profiles. This individual had a lot of photos of the Rothschild family. That tells me that most of those, which you can find off Google, by the way, is most likely a downloaded photo. There's no live videos. There's no nothing. There's no voices behind it, nothing. Just music. Just some kind of automotive type, AI type voice behind the video, the music. Instead of the music, you got words. Somebody speaking like an AI. That's all it is. You can go underneath Google and you can go, oh, let's say for an example, one of the hottest celebrities right now that is out there. Let's go with the guy from The Witcher. You know the one. He also played Superman. One of the big things about him is that he's starred in a lot of movies. He starred with Tom Cruise. He's starred with in The Witcher. He starred with Amy Adams. He's a pretty big, honorable guy, and he's come out and said, hey, I'm a big fucking gamer. And one of the reasons why I'm not going to continue on something is because if you're going to go off script, you're going to corrupt the material, then I want nothing to do with it. He's honest, right? That is somebody that you want to focus. Well, guess what? What happened during The Witcher? They canned his ass, brought in somebody else, realized that they fucked up, and now they're begging him to come back to save the series. Now think about that for just a minute. How does this relate to that? How does it relate to the other stories I just put forth? People want money. They want ratings. They want popularity. They want to be known for something. This is human nature because this is what modern culture has drilled into you. They limit education. They limit what is taught to your children in school. And you're force-fed on what to believe. You live in fear 24/7. I was told years ago, before I moved to Tucson, Arizona, that we were roughly about 15 miles from the Mexican border, that people were constantly kidnapped, went missing, that the crime rate was over 30%. I spent 2 weeks on the streets down there. 2 weeks. Just wandering the streets. You know what I saw? The same moron robbing the same joint of a 30-pack of beer, only to go to jail for a month to return and rob the same fucking store again. I saw one helicopter for one event and an officer that basically didn't even bother getting off his fucking motorcycle and going, "Do not jaywalk. It's illegal." That's over 7 months of living in Tucson, Arizona. I come to Maine. You get reports of the crime being so bad. And yet I'm out there night after night walking by myself. I walk 10 minutes in every direction, and I've got a restaurant, a convenience store, a regular store, and fast food joints. Wow. And yet, the most you hear for sirens on a daily basis is ambulance and fire trucks. Where's all this crime that you keep talking about? Where's all this crime rate that you keep talking about? I've spent time on the streets in two major cities. I've traversed this country from one side to the other for years. When I was recommended a specific book, it was called 1440. Very good little pamphlet, if you will. It's more of a pamphlet than a book. But it reveals how the government and the religious institutions utilize the news outlets to keep you living in suspense. 90% of it, if not 95% of it, is jacked up to keep you enthralled, living in fear. That's just another advantage. It's a popular topic these days. People want to talk about it. Why? Because most likely they come from third world countries like Nigeria. You know, back when I had WhatsApp app, I got rid of that. I got rid of TikTok, Telegram. I got rid of what is it called, Venmo or something like that. It's like it's supposed to be more secure and private. And I always know when there's a scam coming because these morons want to go off a regular app, like, say, Facebook Messenger or TikTok Messenger, say, hey, let's go over here. Okay? Scam has begun. Wow. Yeah. And these types, that's how they operate. Well, I had a friend of mine that had dual citizenship. And I showed him a few of these numbers, and he said, these come from Nigeria. These numbers come from Nigeria, and they're claiming to be here in the U.S. Those are Nigerian phone numbers. You want to get scammed? You buy into that stuff without knowing your history. The reason they don't answer me is because I'm enlightened. I'm knowledge. I'm well read. I'm not just a practitioner of the arts. I'm somebody that sticks up for the truth. I back up what I preach with multiple sources. This is why they don't stick around long enough. Give it another day, and that one account that I posted here on my YouTube channel is going to go, oh, this account's been banned. You can't get in touch with them anymore. It's how it goes. It normally lasts roughly about a week. 3 days to a week before they ban these morons off TikTok. Wow. Ironic how that works, right? And yet, those who sit there and actually put forth historical accounts, they eat it right up. Like, wow, you've done your research into us. You know quite a bit about this organization. Do you want to join? See, their tactics keep changing. Their angles keep changing. And now I believe at the last count you had 30 supposed organizations claiming to be the real Illuminati. And the thing is, like Christians, they'll deny the other person as being honest. You could talk to 3 different supposed Illuminati members. One will send you to a link, which is a Google site, by the way, where you can actually join through there, but they want a lot of money. The other 2 will sit there and go face to face going, don't believe them. They're not part of the real Illuminati. So you want to know how all this goes into a shell game? They're trying to figure out how much you know. Have they been discovered? And then they sit there and beg at the end. Come join us. Come join us. Come on. Come, give me the money, so we can get this party started. Nope. There's a reason why it's called a block button. Except for, I won't just block them. I'll report them. Not just through the app that you're on, but also I'll turn your account number over to the state police and let them deal with you. Because I'm not going to waste my time. So, like I said, down in the description box is this individual's full message to me. And if you type in my name, you'll see an actual post that I did using that. But before you go into that section of what's in the description box, the main post that I posted, I had a paragraph just before it. And then you have what's in the description box, and I took a photo of that account. So if you're on TikTok and that comes up, you know what to do. Have some fun. All right? Enjoy. I'm out.